And I'm Mr. Drake.
Welcome to World History.
This is going to be a very fast-paced course. We're going to cover about 6,000 years of history in 1 year. So it's going to be really quick, but we think it's going to be really fun, and we hope you learn something while we do it.
In today's video, we're going to tell you just a little bit about what to expect from our class this year.
One of the first things you're probably wondering about this class is, what am I going to have? You're probably used to carrying around a big, heavy history textbook in all your classes. Well, this year, you can forget about that.
Instead, this year, you're going to carry around one of these. Most of our work we do in class is going to be technology-based, so you'll need to make sure you have your device with you every day. Along with your device, it's probably a good idea to also bring paper and pencil and have a section in your binder dedicated to history.
When you come into class each day, there are a couple of places you need to look on the whiteboard as soon as you come in. The first place is going to be in the upper right-hand corner of the board. We're going to put today's date, and we'll give you what day of school it is, so that way you can look forward to the end of it a little more and more each time. And we're also going to put a list of important dates, important due dates, when your tests are, when your quizzes are, and things like that, so that way you can keep up with where you are in class.
The other place you need to check is the upper left-hand corner of the board where you'll find the Do Now. That'll tell you what you need to do now. As soon as you come into class, get started on whatever you see in the upper left-hand corner.
So here's how our grading system is going to work in world history this year. We're going to use a percentage system, and 40% of your grade is going to be assessments. Now, assessments may come in one of two forms. It could be a traditional pen and paper test, or it could be the form of a final project that encompasses all the material you've learned over the course of a unit. 20% of the grade is going to be quizzes. Those are mostly going to be vocabulary quizzes of important terms you've learned over the course of your studies. 35% of your grade is classwork. That's any other assignment you've done in class, really, that's not a test or an assessment or a quiz. Things like map activities, web quests, things of that nature. And then 5% of your grade at the end is called interaction. We'll often do discussions in class or ask you to discuss things with your classmates through Moodle or some other discussion board, and that will be what that grade encompasses.
You might occasionally find a day when you're not in class. The beauty of the way we're running this class is that all the work for the unit is due at the end of the unit. That gives you a little bit of leeway. However, late work after the end of the unit will not be accepted, so make sure you get it all in before the last day of the unit. Of course, if you're legitimately sick or something like that happens, talk to your teachers and we'll work something out.
One of the first things you might notice about this school when you come in on the first day is how new it is. Nice, pretty, painted walls, brand new, fresh, unused carpet. And we're going to keep it looking as good as we can for as long as we can. That means the only food and drink you're allowed to have is a bottle of water. Leave everything else at the door, and that includes gum. That's a school-wide policy. No chewing gum. Of course, you may find a situation where you're in class but need to leave class for a minute, and you're in high school, so that's okay. If you need to get a sip of water or go to the bathroom, that's just fine. The only thing we ask is that one person at a time goes, so that way not everyone's running back and forth between the classroom and the restroom and water fountain area. We also ask that you not go while we're actually teaching, because we might say something that you would otherwise miss. Excuse me.
There are a few additional classroom policies and procedures that we want to go over. Obviously, we expect that you're going to abide by all of the RTHS school-wide policies. We also expect you to be in your seat and ready to start when class is scheduled to begin. We only have 50 minutes, so it's important that you're ready to go when it's time to start class. Most importantly, we expect you to respect the teacher, your classmates, and their property at all times.
So you might be wondering what's going to happen if you break or run afoul of some of the rules. The first time it happens, if it's not too major, we'll probably just warn you, tell you to knock it off, get back on task, that kind of thing. The second time it happens in one class, though, we're going to make you give something back to the school or to the teacher or to a classmate. Maybe it's helping them with a project or cleaning the classroom after school, things like that. Probably about 15 minutes or so. The third time it happens, we're going to give you a longer detention, and we're probably going to have to get in touch with your parents. And the fourth time in one class, you're probably going to have to come see this guy.
I'm very disappointed in you.